we've just kind of rubbed shoulders and gotten to know each other a lot through different events and just being on team calls together. And so Becky's been in the business for 4.5 years. She went double diamond at the end of last year, and her husband is diamond, which is super exciting. She lives in Eagle Mountain, Utah. She is a full-time family, you guys. Who wants that? Like full-time husband home, not having to go to work, like full-time family. And she's got 3 kids between the ages of 6 and 16. So running around, all that good stuff that comes with having kids. But I'm excited for her to share her story, kind of how she got started. And then she's going to answer some questions. So if you guys have questions for her, go ahead and write them in the chat. And then I'll just kind of facilitate them and we'll go from there. So you're up, Becky.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tamika. I so appreciate you inviting me to get on. You guys, you have an amazing leader. I know you already know that, but I just have to add that in there. Ever since I first met Tamika, I want to say it was at one of Amber Parker's monthly meetings or trainings. Like, I was like fangirling her. I'm like, this girl has got it together. Like, she knows what she's doing. You're just amazing. So you guys have an amazing leader. So like Tamika said, I have been with It Works for 4.5 years. Like, that blows my mind to think that. And I'll just give you a very short version of my story because I want to leave time definitely for questions. So when I got started 4.5 years ago, life was not looking good. Not at all. We had gone through a bankruptcy. Never something I ever thought would happen. We had also lost our home. We lost our home to foreclosure, you guys. And we were at the point where we were on government assistance. My daughter at the time she was under 2 years old. We were on WIC. We were getting assistance from our church with food to help with Christmas. We couldn't afford Christmas for our kids. I'll never forget one night showing up on our doorstep was a box of gifts, an envelope with gift cards, and a box full of food. So sorry, I'm not going to cry. I just got the chills saying that. But anyways, so life was not looking great. And from the outside looking in, people didn't really know that we were struggling. Obviously the people that brought us stuff, our church knew and they helped, but life looked like it was great. So I always say, don't ever prejudge anyone, whether or not they could use this business, because I needed it. And the way that I came about joining It Works is my enroller was actually a customer of mine with it was more of like direct sales that I had been a part of another company for actually 6.5 years, but things were starting to kind of slowly decline with that business. And I knew I needed to find something else. And so this girl was a customer of mine, and I just knew she was dropping hundreds of dollars every month on clothes for her little girls. And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to find out what it is that she does. And so I just reached out to her one day and said, all right, I need something. I had hit rock bottom, crying myself to sleep at night, and just not wanting to go and work for someone else. Both my husband and I have always just had an entrepreneur mindset. We've always loved doing things on our own. Like, he had a photography business for a while, but then he's like, I don't like dealing with other people's kids and all that stuff with taking pictures. So we just knew that we wanted to do something that would allow us to make income from home. Like, who wouldn't want that? So I met with her, asked all my bazillion questions, because that's how I am. I asked a lot of questions and ended up joining that night, not having tried a single product. You guys, I was not someone who started as a customer, hadn't even tried a wrap. My enroller actually gave me a wrap that day. I went home, signed up, and then wrapped that night. I mean, yeah, that's it. I did want to share one other thing too, but maybe this will come when you're asking questions. So I'll hang on to that little nugget.
No, I love it. That's so cool. And I didn't even know about that about your story. And I think that it's so important, that we don't judge people, because we really never know what's going on. So let's see. Let's start out with kind of what was your timeline as far as how you promoted. And I know that you and your husband you got your husband diamond as well. So do you want to, because I know promotions are a huge deal. We all want to promote, but everyone's story is different. And you've been in 4.5 years. So you just kind of want to talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. It's so funny, Tamika. I think that I actually I'm not super good with off the top of my head remembering like the dates and when things happen and the length of time that they took, but some things really stand out. I should look in my eSuite and look at what was the months that I promoted. But I will tell you guys, I was someone, like I said, I've been involved in other, direct sales type companies before. But what I knew was enrolling customers. I had never grown or had a team before with any of those other companies. It was just enrolling customers, schlepping around a car full of stuff, making multiple trips to doing parties, and just that's how I knew to make income. And so I was enrolling customers like a crazy lady. And I earned, I don't know, do they call it the car bonus, Tamika? The loyal customer bonus?
Yeah, it used to be the car bonus, but then they just you earn the loyal customer bonus?
I earned that, Tamika, 6 months in a row.
I did not. Okay, tell people what that is. I have never met a person who's earned that.
So I didn't really know what it was either until my enroller's like, wow, you're signing like a lot of customers. It is basically when you have, if I remember right, you need to have, I want to say it's 60, so 60 personally enrolled customers that are kept directly under you, and 3,000 GV. Okay. And you can earn that as many months as you want. And for me, it was a blessing because this was fairly early in my business. I'd been in, let's say I joined in June. I earned it through those holiday months. Okay. And it's a $600 bonus. And I remember just thinking, wow, that's amazing that there is a way if you're not enrolling distributors, but hey, we do want to definitely do that. I didn't have the brain cell for building a team at that time. So that's what was going on with that. And then,
hold on 1 second. My math brain. Okay, you guys. So 60 customers, 3,000 personal bonus volume. So 3,000 volume directly underneath you. Okay. If you just had 3,000 volume directly underneath you, that would be a $450 commissions check. But then you get an extra $600 every month that you have that.
That's a comma in your check.
Yes. So over $1,000 without even signing a single team member if you chose not to.
Right.
And so you just went to work signing customers, doing parties, getting referrals, and just helping people find products. I love that. That's so
okay.
Cool.
I know sometimes I hesitate to share that part because I'm like, I don't want to necessarily like condone that, but that is out there. That is something that is available. Remind me what else.
Let's kind of talk about, I like Sarah's question, and this was another question that I wanted to talk to you about, but it says, what's the biggest challenge when you were promoting each rank and how did you overcome them? And
absolutely.
So I tell my team all the time that like your mindset for Ruby and what you do at Ruby rank is going to change when you hit Emerald, or not change. It's got to change before you hit Emerald, and the things that you do, changes. So can you just kind of talk about if you can remember your growth through those ranks?
Yes, definitely. So I do know for a fact, because at one point I did look it up. So I did not promote to Ruby. I don't remember executive, but I was 9 months in. Okay. 9 months to Ruby. And as you know, like I just shared, I was just enrolling customers. I think I maybe had enrolled like 3 distributors 1 month because there was a company-wide promotion. And so I basically turned 2 of my existing loyal customers at that time into distributors, but it took 9 months. I'd say the biggest thing with that was I wasn't asking people. I was not offering this. And so with my team, I'm always kind of leader who's like, okay, I want them to learn from my mistakes. Or, how people say, what's something that you wish, if you could, start over again, what's something you would do differently, or that you wish that you had known at that point. And the biggest thing, hands down, would be to offer the business to every single person. So what I did, and this was like really nerve-wracking for me, is at that point, I'm like, if I'm going to get any further, I need to start growing a team. So I went through every single loyal customer of mine and sent the message, basically like, hey, so-and-so, like, I so appreciate you as a customer. I know you're loving the products, but gosh, have you ever thought about making money with me doing this? Guess what? Almost all of them said yes, that they had thought about it. But did they ask me about it? Yeah, that's a big no. So that's probably the biggest thing. Like, I hope that kind of helps answer that question as far as that part goes.
Yeah. So let's talk about your jump to diamond to double and getting your husband diamond.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I will say, I want to say, so I promoted to diamond in March of 2016. So I was in almost 2 years, if I'm remembering right. maybe it was March of 2017. Anyways, but yeah, so promoted then. And I just want to share this part real quick. So March, that's the month after conference, right? That's the month we're in right now. And so I went to conference as a Ruby, promoted to Emerald that month. And the reason why, everything was set up. The distributors were in place. All of that was there. It was really just about the volume. So that promotion, February is the shortest month. It happened not like easily, but I was set up for it. And I was like, obviously excited and on fire. And my husband was the Ruby for my Emerald promotion. And then the following month, I promoted to Diamond. And they had a double good bonus. I earned a $20,000 bonus with Diamond. And so the jump from Diamond to double, like we're talking a good 2-year time span. And not to say that to be discouraging at all. That's just my story. And so you wanted me to share kind of like what that looked like, okay, basically a lot of team came and went. You'll hear all the time people saying the team that got you to this rank isn't necessarily going to be the same team that gets you to the next rank. That is most definitely the truth for me. So I'm never afraid to share that part of my story, and that people, some people came in, they had a Ruby bonus at the time, they earned it. That was as far as their mindset was. They earned the Ruby bonus and then they were done. So I think the biggest thing was just realizing that is going to happen. I've never had quitting on the table. It's never been an option whatsoever. I have seen my check go up and down and fluctuate, but I don't know. I think a lot of prayer. Oh, and one other last thing I have to share, Tamika, the day that I went Diamond, last day of March, I was 3 distributors away from being charted for Diamond. Okay, I don't know where those people came from. One was a girl's mom who enrolled because she was going for Ruby. Another was a customer I had enrolled that month who ordered a lot of products, messaged me out of the blue. She's like, I don't know what's going on, but I've been dreaming green. Like, I think I need to do this. And she was really into health and was a marathon runner. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, you don't want to be on the last day of the month and still need 3 people, but that's what happened. And all I can say is it was God, and it was prayer, and it was faith and belief. So I think also too, I've grown a lot as a leader. You'll hear people say that your check can only grow, what is it, Tamika, like as much as you're growing your mind, like it can't go past what your personal growth is. So personal development, I honestly thought it was silly when I first heard people talking about it. I'm like, that's not going to make me money. That's not an income producing activity. I'm here to tell you it's a non-negotiable. It has to happen. The days that it doesn't, I can tell. My husband absolutely knows because he gets to hear me complaining or whatever. So yeah, I just think I grew so much, and that's a lot of it. Just learning and growing into what I needed to be. So
I love all that. And a couple of things that you said is that you like quitting was never on the table. And I wondered, being in the business for as long as you've been in, and I've been in almost 4.5 years now. I joined at the end of December, but just knowing that it's not even an option. And there are days that, of course, we're like, want to throw in the towel and we think about it, but we're like, no, like it's not even an option. So I think that's number one. And then number 2 is just being committed. And I personally saw that happen last month going triple, where all of a sudden volume is coming in, like your prayers are being answered. And I think it's because you stayed faithful until the very, very end. And you were willing to fight for it to the last minute. And if it didn't happen, you knew that you left it all on the table and you could do it again next month. And I think that that's just a test of faith, and that if God says you're ready, then he's going to put those people into your place.
He is, Tamika. I'm getting chills. Like God, he will bless your efforts. But if you're just sitting there praying, but then not putting in the action, okay, how can you help with that? You have to take the action.
So let's talk a little bit about action. What would you say is your, like your daily 6 list, your daily non-negotiables, or what do you do to sign customers and distributors on a daily basis? Absolutely.
So, I mean, you'll hear people say who have been in the length of time that I have, or even longer, that, obviously host to post wasn't a thing back then. So I wasn't using that. That wasn't what got me to those ranks. It's probably only been within the last almost year and a half or so that I've been using it. So daily 6 list, obviously personal development. And I have to absolutely give credit to your guys' ambassador upline, Amber Parker, for really, truly speaking to me in a way that it made sense, the importance of it. And so getting up earlier in the morning, I sit over here on my couch with my blanket and keto coffee, and oh my gosh, here it is. So I write in this prayer journal daily. Okay. I write in this daily. I am reading out of a book that has devotionals in it. I'm pouring into myself. And I have a book that I'm reading right now. It is called The Power. It's from the author who wrote The Secret, just talking about that mindset, talking about the law of attraction. And, you know, Tamika, I did listen to Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret every single day the month that I went double diamond. And my husband's like, how can you listen to his voice? I'm like, I don't even care. Like, I'm listening. So personal development, definitely on my list. There's so many different things and ways that you can do that. Do what works for you, but make it happen, even if it's 10 minutes. I post every day. Not a single day goes by. It does not matter what is happening in my life. I've never been one to air my dirty laundry on Facebook or to complain. Like, to me, my Facebook, my Instagram, that's my storefront. And so posting every single day. As far as like how many times, it's not super consistent, but now with Facebook and Instagram stories, I do post more on there. I do post more on the stories. So always posting on there. I try to always at least get a poll up every couple of days on my stories. I am also every single day growing my network. And that's something that I try to drill into people that are new, that you don't ever want to run out of people to talk to. When I joined, I think my Facebook friends list was maybe 200 something, and Instagram, I didn't even have it, didn't even use it. And now I think have over 7,000 followers on Instagram. Facebook, I definitely need to work on growing that more. But yeah, growing your network. Don't ever run out of people to talk to. What else? Messaging people, asking, like, you have to make an ask out of yourself, because people are not always necessarily going to come to you. And I know that. I know that. I'm not just relying on a post to bring people to me, or even going live. That's something, Tamika, that I'm trying to get more consistent at. I've gone live now 2 days in a row. Yesterday I went live doing a live wrap demo, which was nerve-wracking. And then today I did the salted caramel keto coffee pods. But you don't have to always go live about the products or the business. That's just what I happen to go live about. So that, and let's see what else. Following up is huge. I follow up with people every single day. I don't leave it to just one day of the week. And I should have this in front of me. I think that's a lot of it. Personal development, growing your network, messaging, following up, and posting. I'll probably think of something else, but those are the key ones.
Yeah. And I know that this is a silly question, but I just need to ask it. Have you ever been told or not responded to?
You mean, like, have I had people read a message and then like that's all they do is just read it, or they never read it?
Yep.
Oh, either yeah. Way. All the time.
I feel like a lot of people have come in and they're like, well, I messaged and they said no. I messaged and people didn't respond. Well, you guys, like, it happens to every single person. So What do you do, Becky, when people don't respond or they tell you no?
Okay, when people do not respond. So every situation is different. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and think, you know what? They're busy. How often do I open a text or a message? I'm not in a place where I can respond. Maybe I don't even read it, but it gets opened and I forget about it. And then other messages kind of bump it further down and it's out of sight, out of mind. So that's one thing. If I'm messaging them, oh gosh, I have like a follow-up message that I love when someone's showing interest in a product and they want to order and then they ghost you or they stop. One of my go-to messages, or something that you could do if you like have a funny personality, is you could send them a message like, you get abducted by aliens, or send him one of those funny gifs of like Cookie Monster, like drumming his fingers. Just have fun with it, but realize and know that people get busy. People have a life. I'm just searching in my notes. I do have a follow-up message that I really like to use that I will share with you guys. Let me see if I can find it real fast. If you don't have a note section, there's just an added tip. I highly recommend it. And Tamika, do you use text replacement at all?
Yes, text replacement will save you so much time.
It will. Okay, I don't yet. I need to just figure it out and do it. But the message I'll send, let's just say they were interested in the keto coffee. Let's just say from a host to post, they were interested. Maybe I was to the point of like ready to gather info and they stopped responding. I would say, hey, Tamika, just wanted to check back and see if you were still interested in the keto coffee. If not, I can take you off my follow-up list. I would hate to bug you. And then I do like a smiley face. That gets more people to reply back to me than not, because number one, maybe they're afraid to say that they don't have the money. This just gave them an easy way to say, yes, I'm still interested, but here's X, Y, and Z. Here's the reasons why I haven't replied. Or, you know what, go ahead and take me off your follow-up list. I mean, wouldn't you much rather have someone tell you they're not interested or they have to wait for whatever reason than say nothing?
Yes, I love that. That's a really great one.
I can send that to you. It's really simple message. Let's try to see what else I do. Okay, so on Instagram, for those of you who use Instagram, you can unsend a message. I'll go back through messages and be like, okay, well, I messaged them about hair, skin, nails. That didn't get any interest. I'm going to unsend that. I'm going to send them one about the keto coffee. I mean, hello.
I didn't even know
I just erased their memory, Tamika.
Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of genius.
Yes. I mean, I remember wishing that you could do that on Facebook, but you can now. You didn't used to be able to unsend or like remove a message from Facebook Messenger. That's an option now. So that's a real life thing.
So
but
cool.
Yeah, just don't get discouraged. It's a numbers game. I hear sometimes from my team, like I messaged a ton of people, no responses. And I'm like, why don't you define a ton for me? Like, what does that mean to you? And they'll tell me a number and I'll just remind them, okay, let's message more. I'm never waiting for replies, ever. You will never hear me say, okay, well, I did this. No, I'm just waiting. Nope, never waiting.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to move forward in this company, you physically need to be moving forward and not just waiting for something to happen. So we are about done with time. So I just want to know if you could give any just promotion tips, like people on your team, on my team, on people's teams that we don't even know. Like if you were going to give 3 of your best tips for using these last 10 days, because we know that miracles happen in the last 10 days of the month. What would you say would be your best advice to hit the promotions that they're going for?
Okay, sure. So for me, communication is so key. You have to be in communication with your upline. You have to be in communication with your team. You have to know your chart. I mean, that's the roadmap. You can't promote without. Know what you need. And I think when it comes to promoting, obviously, if you've still got spots on your chart that need to be filled with distributors, then focus on that. But I say I can have any conversation, whether it's a distributor or a customer, and flip it either way. If someone is a potential customer and they say they don't have money, okay, are you looking to make some extra money? And then I can open it up to talking about joining the business. Okay, it doesn't matter. The conversation didn't start about them being a distributor. And then if you're talking to them about the products, I will usually say this once I've gathered all their information. So it's a definitely customer sale at the least, but then I'll offer them the business. Okay, did you just want to use the products at a discount, or would you also want to would you be open to hearing how you can make money while using the products? So offering that with everyone that you're talking to. And then the other tip would just be, as far as knowing your chart and knowing what volume you need, I am a firm believer of no 30 BV. Okay, like we heard that at conference, right? Tamika from Christy Christensen, don't 30 BV anybody. Obviously, they might still happen, but it's so much easier. I tell my team, it's the same amount of work to enroll someone on 90 BV as it is to enroll them on 30. The only difference is, are you finding out what their goals are? Are you taking that extra minute to be personable?
Yeah.
To send voice memos, right? I have found some of my higher volume orders are when I get them on the phone. That scares me. I don't like to do it. It's out of my comfort zone, hands down, but I do it. I'm shaking, I ramble, all the things, but they realize I'm a real person. They hear that I care about them. I share my own personal journey with the products. And yeah, so know what you need and break it down into chunks. Break it down into, okay, I need this many orders of these products. So what does that tell you? That's what I'm going to do host to post for. That's what I'm going to start posting about and showing people that I'm using. And people are going to order what you're showing and talking to them about. So that just is probably my biggest tip. I know it's not anything probably new that anyone's heard, but sometimes we need to, again, what do you think?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah. And and I think it's so true, because everything you've said, I mean, unless if people have joined the business recently, is stuff that we've heard before. And like, it's just kind of that reconfirmation that if you want it, you've got to do it consistently. You've got to do more of it. Your heart's got to be in it. And just all the things that you said were amazing. So I really appreciate you. I want to open it up to at least 3 people to give Becky a huge thank you and to just kind of share one takeaway that you have from this call. So if 3 people would like to unmute, that would be awesome.
I'll go first. I just really want to say about the follow-up message. That was like perfect for me, because I have a lot of people who they've said they're going to order, and I was just kind of like doing the waiting game. So this message would definitely like help me either close them finally or move on and go to the next one. So I really appreciate it.
And what I've done too, Vivian, is if they're not ready to order, I'm like, okay, let's give them a chance to maybe earn some free samples. I'm going to ask them to put up a host to post for me always.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Vivian. 2 more. Go ahead, Sarah.
For me, I kind of sometimes I've been in for just that 2 years now, and sometimes I feel like I've been in for 2 years and I'm not at this rank, and I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this. And so it's nice for me to have a reminder that, things happen in the time frame that they're supposed to happen.
Yes, absolutely. I would hear people say, your journey is your journey, and like comparison's the thief of joy, but I still fall into that trap myself as well. So yeah, I totally hear you.
And, just to kind of reiterate what Becky said is like, if you want to grow more, then your mindset has to grow more, because your paycheck will not grow until your mindset. And I know for you personally, Sarah, when you listen to Strangest Secret every day, I remember that month, every single day you were disciplined and you made it happen. That's when your business changed. So if you guys are feeling stuck, that is your first call to action, I would say tonight, is you get on YouTube and you search Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. And I listened to it every day last month when I was promoting, every day when I was promoting to double. Like, that book is the most silliest book that you will ever listen to, but it changes lives for reals.
My husband said the same thing about his voice. He was like, you can't listen to that when you're around me.
Yes. Okay, one more person, please.
Okay,
Go
I'll
ahead,
go.
Rebecca.
Sorry. Somebody else.
Sorry. Rebecca, then we'll have Kelly Jo.
Okay. Hi, I'm under Becky Jeide, and I'm from Massachusetts. And actually, I enrolled under someone different, and I didn't know Becky at all. I enrolled in May of 2016, and I didn't know Becky at all. And she reached out to me after, maybe I was in the business about 6 months, and just kind of took me under her wing and taught me so much. And Becky, I had no idea about that you had the car bonus. That's awesome. So I didn't know that you had hit that a bunch of times. And just Becky's been, really great about teaching. And The Secret is something that I listen to. Every month that I've promoted big promotions, I'm going for double this month, and I've been just listening to it, and I just hear his voice in my head. And so it's every day, and personal development's huge, huge, huge. Don't underestimate it. And yeah, just thanks so much for Becky for telling me about this tonight, and thanks to Mika very much.
You're so welcome, and thank you for being on. All right,
Yeah.
Kelly Jo, we'll have you go, and then we'll just wrap it up.
Okay, Becky, I think we're diamond sisters, because I went diamond in
Where
March.
are you? Where's your face? Do you have your video on?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
We're
Must be
Diamond Sisters. Yay.
So, I just want to thank you. And I love that you share your story and you're so real and raw. And it just reminds us that we always we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And I think sometimes we think like everybody has it together and they don't. Like, we're all hot messes behind closed doors, but we don't share that. And so, like, thank you for letting everybody understand that from the pits of HEW hockey sticks, like, we can rise and like things can be okay, but we have to be willing to do it. And so you guys just heard everything Becky said, and it is all things that we have said to you, but sometimes you hear it from somebody else and that helps. So thank you for sharing. And then also, I know some of you are hearing her say, listen to Stranger Secret, and you're saying, listen to personal development, and you're thinking, I don't want to get in this head because I'm that person. I am so resistant to it, but you guys, you have to do it. You want to change, you have to do it. So, and I also love that you said you're not waiting around for people to reply to you. Like, go message more people. Now, that doesn't mean that those people you message don't matter. I had somebody say that the other day that, well, then those people just don't matter. No, it's just not their day to get back to you, because a no is never a no. It's a not right now. And so, like, don't ever just be stagnant. And I messaged a bunch of people, like, message a whole bunch more. So thank you for sharing.
You are so welcome. And Tamika, I just wanted to throw this out there. If there's any messages or, I mean, you know, scripts are scripts, but you guys, I'm someone who used to think that you had to have the perfect wording and that's what made someone successful. That's not true. Make whatever you find from someone else, whether it's a post idea or a message idea, make it your own. But I'm someone who's always more than happy to share those type of things because I know that it helped me. So I'm happy, you know, to share and help others.
Yes, thank you, Becky. So you guys, this was a great call. I really appreciate Becky just did it last minute for me because the other one I had something come up and couldn't. So if you guys want to go follow her on Facebook, you're more than welcome to go find her. Don't add her as a friend though, because we got to save those spots for potentials, but you can go ahead and
you're
follow.
Welcome to private message me. I'm okay with that.
Perfect.
I'm okay with that. Okay.
And so let's go ahead and use these tips and things that we've learned to get us moving, because it's one thing to hear them. It's one thing to be on a call for 50 minutes now or 40 minutes, however long it's been. But if you don't take what you've just been given and put it into action, it doesn't do anything for you. Okay. And if your teams were on, we're going to upload it and get it on YouTube. So you can go ahead and send them the recording and share your notes and then use this fire that you're feeling right now. I know I'm feeling fired. I'm not going to go back through all my messages and use that follow up because it was genius. But you guys, like, use this and use it as a tool to help your teams as well. So anyway, have a great night. Thank you, everyone.
Night, guys. Bye-bye.